Go ahead and get started with Stretch with the Leader today. So welcome everyone, and thanks for joining. We have Will Rucker here with us. Will, if you would tell us a little bit about your role with Intermountain, and then you can jump into your Be Well moment and then throw it back to me when you're done with that for the stretch.
Sounds great. Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you again for having me. My name is Will Rucker, and I have the awesome privilege of living in fabulous Las Vegas. I'm approaching 2 years with Intermountain, and I support our community health team as the Director of Community Health for the state of Nevada. In community health, our focus is on bringing Intermountain's mission to life beyond the hospital or clinic walls and to everyone in the communities we serve, especially the most vulnerable. Because as a nonprofit health system, we exist to serve, not just to treat illness, but to improve the conditions that help people be well so they can live the healthiest lives possible. I'm really fortunate. I'm a part of an amazing team, and we are doing truly impactful work. Part of that work is every 3 years, we conduct a community health needs assessment, commonly called a CHNA, to understand what our neighbors are really facing. So, from mental health to housing and food insecurity, preventing illness and injury in kids. These findings help guide our health improvement strategies so that the community benefit work we do truly meets the local need and reflects the voice of the community. So that's the heart of community health. I want to begin by commending all of you just for being here. You could be catching up on emails, but instead, you're investing in your own well being. And to me, that is awesome. And I really love our Be Well model. As I was thinking about the 9 elements, the word that kept coming up for me was compassion. When we talk about compassion, we often think of it as simply being kind. But compassion is so much more than that. Compassion is not just caring about people, but caring with them. And it actually stands on 3 legs. First is awareness, seeing clearly the reality of suffering, whether it's in a patient, a colleague, or even within yourself. The second leg is empathic concern, allowing yourself to feel moved, to care, to let your heart be open. And third is action. Compassion is choosing to respond in a way that helps, even if it's something that seems small, like listening or taking a breath. When all 3 legs are engaged, awareness, empathy, and action, we have a steady foundation for being well. And that breath that I highlighted, that's often the first compassionate act we can take. One intentional breath that simply says, I'm included in my circle of compassion. Now, I know burnout is real. We've all heard the phrase, you can't pour from an empty cup. And there is definitely truth to that. But sadly, sometimes that shifts into don't pour at all unless it is totally convenient. The truth is, you can be healing and still show up. You can have boundaries and still care deeply. You can protect your energy and still consider how your choices affect the people you work with and the communities we serve. That balance, that awareness, that's the practice of compassionate presence. And I think of presence like a flame. A single candle can illuminate 1,000 others without losing any of its own light. And that's the power of compassion. When we lead with compassion, when we show up with empathy, we don't lose our energy. We multiply light. Our choices don't happen in isolation, they ripple. And that's what it really means to be well, not to burn out, but to burn brightly. As I mentioned, I'm based in Las Vegas, which, as you might know, is the wedding capital of the world. And one of my favorite parts of the wedding ceremony is the lighting of the unity candle. The officiant points out to the couple that as they light the center candle, the flame shines more brightly. He reminds them that they shine more brightly together, and that lighting that third candle didn't diminish either of them, but it gave both of them more light. And that image to me is what it means to be well. That's what Intermountain's value of better together is all about. Each of us brings our individual brilliance, but together we create something far brighter than any of us could alone. Being a compassionate presence doesn't mean we have it all figured out. It means we stay aware enough to notice when the wick needs trimming, when our cup is low, or when we simply need to pause for a breath. So, my Be Well moment today is simply an encouragement to take a breath, not as a box checking exercise, but as a commitment to compassionate presence. So, I'll end with a reminder that I hope you carry with you into our stretching, which I'm looking forward to, and also throughout the week. And the reminder is simply this: you are not just a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop, and what you do matters. So live compassionately. Cami, back over to you.
Thanks so much, Will. What a beautiful message about compassion and how that funnels up into the mission of Intermountain. And I really feel this like exuding of compassion coming from you as well. So thank you for bringing that to this group. Really appreciate that. Let's go ahead and move on to our stretch portion of Stretch with a Leader today. So go ahead and find yourself some space. We'll stand and start to move our bodies. All right, let's find just a nice, easy standing position. We'll start with hands by our sides, and you can just face your palms forward, just starting with a moment of mindfulness here. So as you start to breathe, just notice what you're feeling in your body. Noticing if there's any tension, how your emotions are today, how your Monday morning is feeling with non-judgment. Let's take a big inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, bring your hands down to the tops of your thighs with a partial hinge forward. And let's just do 2 more breaths like that. Big inhale up. Exhale, fold. Just noticing how your body feels as we move. And adapting any of the movement so that it feels better in your own body. Let's pause right here, and we're just going to take turns straightening one leg and bending the other knee as you sway the hips side to side. Just noticing where you might feel some lengthening. And we'll come back to standing. Big inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, release them towards your sides. Okay, we're going to go into a split stance. So right foot's going to be forward, left foot back, and go ahead and sit back on the back leg and the front toes lift. We'll sweep the arms down all the way up to the sky, and then shift your weight into the front leg as you pull down, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Then we'll rock back, sweep it down and forward, shift forward, pull the arms down. Let's do that 2 more times on this side. Starting to mobilize more of the joints in the body. Okay, let's switch up our feet. So set yourself up first so you feel nice and stable. Go ahead and sit back, lift the front toes, reach the arms forward, maybe take a big inhale, and then rock your weight forward as you pull the arms down, squeezing shoulder blades. Reach, lift the toes, rock forward, pull down. We'll do it 2 more times on this side. Last one right here. And pull it down. All right, go ahead and release the arms. I'm going to step the feet together, hands by the shoulders, going into a nice big side stretch. So we're going to step the right leg to the right, and then arms reach over to the left. Come back to the center and go to the other side. Feel free to adjust the timing here. So if you want to hold it a little longer, if you find a stretch that feels extra good, feel free to hold it. If you want to move a little more quickly, warm things up a little faster, feel free to do that as well. And let's come back to the center. We're going to take our feet out nice and wide. Take that big inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, hands come right above the knees as you fold forward. Let's do that 2 more times. Knees stay soft here, but you can send your hips back enough. Let's pause right here and then shift your weight side to side. Noticing where you feel that in your hips, in your inner thighs. All right, let's pause here. Take both hands onto the right thigh, and then the right hand's going to come to the hip. Start to roll the shoulder back, turn your head into a little bit of a twist. And then we'll switch sides. Making your way over, left hand goes to the hip and roll the shoulder back. Let your head turn. And then come back to the center. We'll come back all the way to standing. Okay, going into a split stance again, but this time a little longer than the first time we did it. We're going to come up on the back toes. You can use your hands on hips for stability, and we're going to pump the back heel up and down. Notice your toes all the way up into your ankle, into the calf muscles. And then come up really high on the toes, lean forward, and then press the heel all the way back down and pause right here. Finding a nice tall spine, and then maybe tilt the tailbone. Tuck it under a little bit. And then see if you can bend the back knee just a touch. A little bit deeper calf stretch. Okay, we're going to straighten the front leg, but open up the back leg. Send your hips back, keeping your spine nice and long, and reach your chest forward. Think about pulling your heart forward over your front toes. It's just the direction they're reaching for. And we'll bend the front knee, step forward, and let's switch up the legs. Got our longer split stance. Let's do those heel presses. And as you do so, try and notice all 5 toes. Notice where they're touching the ground. Notice the movement in your big toe joint. Notice your calf muscles, what's happening in your ankle. And then press the heel down. We'll pause there for a little bit of a stretch. And then start to bend the back knee just a touch till you feel a little bit deeper stretch. Okay, let's straighten both legs. Open up the back foot. Send your chest forward. Reach your sit bones back and up. Nice long spine here. Noticing where you feel the stretch, probably in the back of your front leg. All bodies are different. And let's bring it up and step the feet together. All right, taking the arms out in front, fingertips together, snow globe hands. Reach forward, round through the upper back, and maybe even look down towards the floor. And then take a big inhale, send your thumbs back, lift your chest. Maybe even look up a little bit. Let's move through that just a few more times. Again, if you find some really good stretching in one of those positions, feel free to hold it a little longer. Let's pause right here. Arms out in front, and then start to rock. Elbow moving all the way even down through your ribs. Back to the center. Let's release the arms, stand up, and do 1 reverse shoulder roll at a time. And then do the other way. So we'll do forward, 1 at a time. And then double reverse. Really accentuated. So ears way up towards, shoulders way up towards the ears, and then roll it way back, and then roll it down. Pause there. All right. Thank you all for joining today. Thank you, Will, for a lovely message. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Let